Hey guys, Drutter here. This is a video for my Drutter subscribers on YouTube, as well as my Steemian friends and followers on Steemit.com. I now have a Steemit account, and I'm going to be uploading as many of my videos as possible to there as well, through DTube, which is a new website. If you haven't heard of Steemit or DTube, I encourage you to check it out for sure. I'll put the links down below. And in this video, I just wanted to introduce myself to those of you on Steemit that don't know of me from YouTube. And I guess I want to introduce my YouTuber friends and followers and fans to watch me on Steemit if you have a Steemit account. The only thing I have found with Steemit that I don't love is that you have to sign up through a phone number. And for me, that's always been something I don't do, like on principle. I just, in fact, I don't think I should have to have a device or a cell phone to log into different websites and to check in at hotels and airports and things, and it's becoming that way. But anyhow, as you can tell, or maybe you can tell, I'm very into privacy. I'm into precious metals. I'm into, well, a lot of these things overlap. I'm into cryptocurrencies. I like Bitcoin. I've been interested in that since Da Vinci first started talking about it long ago. When was that even? 2011? I've been very interested in the cryptocurrencies ever since then, and I will continue to be. I think it's fascinating, just fascinating, from someone who has followed the concepts of value, intrinsic value, gold, silver, money, currency, the real definitions and the real world applications of all these terms. From someone who's been following that for so long, to see these cryptocurrencies come along has been just a wealth of new information on a subject that has had no new information for so long. It's advancing theory, I believe. So, I've been really excited to just follow this whole thing. Not the prices, just the prices, although I do love to follow that, and I'm into technical analysis. I'm not great at it, but I have had quite a bit of success with the Bitcoin chart. Not investing for myself, but just making really good calls and predictions. For several years now on the Bitcoin chart. And no, it's not impossible to do, I know that, because it is following very classical technical analysis, because it is a free market for the most part. I'm not sure about now, and at this $20,000 peak here now, with the big investment hedge funds coming in, I think you can now short Bitcoin as well on the futures exchanges, I believe. Anyhow, yeah, interested in that stuff for sure, and I have been, and I will continue to be. But silver, I love silver, and I will continue to talk about silver, price and demand especially. There's not too much in silver news, I guess, other than just that price and demand stuff, and not a lot there really either for quite a while. So the silver stuff, I haven't moved out of. I may not talk about it every video, but it's, I advocate owning a core position in precious metals if you can afford to have savings. Please consider at least a little bit in precious metals. I think the same way of cryptocurrencies now, though. That's a whole new area, and I don't think it's yet to be realized how big it's going to be. This is something I haven't really talked about on my channel before, but I just feel now moving into the Steam thing, I feel things are a little different. I'm not going to show my face on Steemit, just as I haven't shown my face on Google's sites, but that's not because I'm trying to hide who I am. Everybody knows that I'm D. Rutter or Darren Rutter. They know where they can find me. I protest at the same place every Saturday in Vancouver. Everyone knows who I am and what I'm up to. I'm pretty transparent about certain things, but I still don't upload my face or whatever to Google. I just don't think there's any reason to do that, and I'm glad that I have never done that. Certainly they have my voice. They've got tons and tons. They've got hundreds of hours of my voice, so whatever they want to do with that, I guess. But I'm not going to be showing my face on here, but I am going to be showing a lot on here, and it's not just going to be my hands and coins and stuff like that. I will be continuing to show lots of footage of, say, the farmers market that happens in Vancouver in the Robson Square, which is around the Vancouver Art Gallery, every Saturday. And that's part of some activism that I've been involved with since it started 2.5 years ago. And I've documented that on my YouTube channel. It gets no hits, like no hits. As soon as I, in fact, started covering cannabis legalization and the whole scam about, you know, prohibition's going to continue. We're not ending prohibition as legalization comes in here soon in Canada. We're just making the fines and the jail times even harsher. For more things. So now for having 5 plants, you can go to jail for 14 years, for example. It's just draconian. It's absolutely stupid. And there's absolutely no reason to be punishing people for cannabis anymore at all. We know that it's not harmful. And even if it was harmful, why would you punish people for that? You should educate people for that. So I'm a huge believer in liberty, and I'm a huge opponent of the war on drugs, especially cannabis prohibition. My wife, Katie, who is a model and activist here in Vancouver, is a victim of cannabis prohibition, a more direct victim, you could say, because we're all victims of this war. But she was denied it while she needed it as a child because of, quote, think of the children, and she couldn't get the cannabinoids that she needed to fight the cancer that she had growing in her spine. And so it severely crippled her, as did the multiple surgeries and the dozens of rounds of radiation and horrible, horrible drugs, including fentanyl, that they pumped into her as a little girl to try and cure this cancer that is now, and in fact also then, known to cure that type of cancer. We have the cannabinoids to do it, and we had then too. And even as a young teen, she was still suffering from this cancer and from the surgeries and the constant radiation they were putting into her, and she was saying, I hurt, can I have a joint? My friends, trying to get it through her friends or from anyone, and she was shamed, and she was stopped many times. But once she finally got that, she realized that was the medicine for her. And I'm here to support her and to say to everyone, I believe in her, and I believe that that is the medicine for her, and she's tried many medicines over her life. And she's a wonderful and amazing, strong person. So I dedicate this channel to her, and I'm going to be doing lots and lots of videos, not about her, but to help support her quest to end cannabis prohibition, because that's my quest too, and I think that should be all of our quest. So I am going to start off this little series with a look at these 10 lovely seeds here. As I said, I'm part of a farmers market that meets every Saturday, and it's a cannabis farmers market in Vancouver. The police tolerate it. The city government doesn't like it, but doesn't know what to do about it. The public loves it, except for a few prohibitionists still within the public here and within the mainstream local media. But other than that, we've had great reception, and we meet downtown in the very, very darkest, densest part of Vancouver, the deep part of Vancouver, surrounded by all the big banks, and we're right there on Robson Street, surrounded by all the big corporations and banks and mega malls for these consumeristic lifestyles that we live. And there we are, handing out free joints, giving out free edibles. We're saving people's lives down there, and a lot of people have told us that because a lot of people either A, have epilepsy or something that requires a hardcore medical grade and high dose edible, which you cannot get in Vancouver because there's a ban on edibles in Vancouver. So cannabis edibles, which are very, very important medically, are not available, and this market provides them. Some free and some, cheap at cost type edibles. And people's lives are being saved with epilepsy, with MS, etc. And secondly, we have a huge opioid crisis in Vancouver. I know a lot of people who have died. I have lots of friends who have died. Sorry, I'm a bit sick still. Very, very, very big crisis in Vancouver, and I think around the world, especially in North America right now, as Big Pharma for years has been pumping us full of opioids and opiates. And now we're realizing how addictive these are, how harmful they are, and just how not sustainable it is as a society. We have people trying to break into pharmacies to get these pills now, these legal pills that are so addictive that when they're, for some reason they can't get a prescription for it or whatever, they will break into a pharmacy or hold it up with a gun to get one more pill. That's how bad it is. And it doesn't even cure all your pain, and it certainly doesn't do anything to heal you and what's going on in the first place that's causing that pain. So opioids are out, in my opinion, and we are replacing them with cannabis in a lot of people's lives, and people are doing dabs or they're doing edibles, and they're getting off of heroin, literally heroin, methadone, morphine, Percocet, and all of the hard drugs, crack, and crystal meth, everything. Absolutely everything. It is not a joke, and I'm totally censored on YouTube when I expose this information. We've got Harvard backing us up. We've got tons and tons of peer-reviewed studies from hospitals and universities around the world that say that cannabis substitution for opioids works and saves lives. We know that for sure. And it's just a sad thing that it's not in the mainstream media, and it's a sad thing we're continuing to prohibit cannabis from people. My wife, Katie, still can't get a prescription for cannabis. She still can't get the police to stop trying to harass her and find out where she is and if she's got any seeds, if she's got any flowers, if she's got any dabs on her, because they'll take those away from her and they'll put her in jail. And prohibition is only getting worse with legalization that they're threatening to bring in. So we're saving lives here with some of the activism we're doing, and YouTube is censoring it. So I'm going to move over all that stuff onto Steemit, where it can't be censored, where the community will decide if it's useful information or if it's garbage. And that's how YouTube should have been all along. I've always believed in the free market of ideas, free market of thinking, and transparency, and being allowed to vote and rate on things and leave comments, and YouTube has shut down all those things. It's shooting itself in the foot, and it's time for that monopoly to end big time. Same with you, Big Pharma. All these monopolies, there's so many different monopolies out there that are coming to an end now. And thank you, Steemit, and thank you, DTube, for what you guys are doing. Big kudos to anyone that's involved in that. And so I just want to put my links down below to my Drutter YouTube channel, my Drutter Steemit account, and yes, I will be updating my contact info video that I've had up for a while. It's getting outdated. And I want to thank all you fans, followers, friends, and thank you Steemians, thank you YouTubers. I will talk to you guys soon.